All right, we've got a pretty serious loser Donald segment for you guys today. Normally, we kid around about what a buffoon he is, but this time his buffoonish behavior has gotten really ugly. This is about all the different sexual assaults and aggressions that Donald Trump is now accused of. Now that we saw the tape of him talking to Billy Bush when he was about to go on a soap opera, and he said crazy things like, I was on him like a bitch, referring to women. I grabbed them by the pussy. I can do anything. They just let me because I'm a star. Now, a lot of people have rightfully said, hey, wait a minute. That's not just locker room talk. He's talking about sexual assault. Now, if he's kidding, it's not good. If he's serious, well, that's really bad. And, you get a sense from those tapes that he was referring to things that actually happened. Well, tick tock, here we go. We knew more was going to come out. Right after the show was over, I tweeted that, oh, this thing's going to turn into a Bill Cosby situation. And here we are, immediately. So, a guy who brags about doing things like that has done things like that. And so, let me tell you about 4 different instances. They're all a little different. They're not all sexual assault, but a lot of them are. So, first of all, Miss Utah, Temple Taggart came out. She's Miss Utah a while back, said, he kissed me on the lips 2 times, totally unwarranted, unsolicited, no consent. I didn't ask him to, and I thought it was gross, and I don't know why he did that. But remember what he told Billy Bush. He said, I just kissed him. I don't ask, right? So now that's the mildest case. Now, do you want Donald Trump kissing you on the lips? Do you want any, gross old man kissing you on the lips if you didn't ask them? Okay. Male, female, it doesn't matter, okay? So that's unacceptable. Now we go on to worse cases. Jill Hearth. She's trying to do a business deal with him. At the time, she has a boyfriend. Later, she's married to that guy. And Trump says, oh, but I got a problem here. He even says it to the boyfriend. He says, I'm attracted to your girlfriend here. And then he takes her, according to her testimony later when she sued him, takes her on a tour of his estate and then brings her into Ivanka, his daughter's bedroom, and starts, again, grabbing her, assaulting her, and said, he grabbed my private parts. That's exactly what he told Billy Bush he does. Grab him right in the pussy. I mean, this is a presidential candidate. That is unbelievable. It's one thing if he's BSing while talking to a bro, right? It's another thing if he actually did it. And so Jill Hearth stands by her story. Later, she came back around and supported Team Trump, and she's a mess. I mean, look, if you ask her, she says, I don't know, I was trying to get a job, and, she does makeup now, and so, but she has never recanted her story. When she was on Trump's side, not on Trump's side, she said, no, that story is true. Her boyfriend at the time, who later became her husband, they got divorced later. They all tell the same story, and they haven't spoken in years. So that is flat out sexual assault. Okay. Then you go to the case of his former wife, Ivana Trump. Now, this isn't us saying it. It's Ivana Trump in divorce proceedings. This is all in court. She said that at one point she gave him a referral to a doctor for a hair transplant. He was so mad because he was in pain, he ripped her hair out while forcing himself onto her. He raped her, according to her. Now she says, well, look, I support him and this story's nonsense. So is it false? No, she doesn't say it's false. She never recanted it. So there it is in court testimony, in proceedings, I should say, where she said that he raped her. Okay. I don't know. Is it impolite to bring these things up? I mean, the guy's running for president, right? So, okay. Now, this last one is about Nancy O'Dell. So it turns out on that bus in the secret audio tape, he's talking about a married woman that he's trying to have sex with, right? And he mentions that it's Nancy. And it turns out, yes, that's Nancy O'Dell, who at the time was co-hosting a Miss Universe contest for him with Billy Bush. Now, she went on to do Entertainment Tonight, I believe she's doing now. I can't keep up with entertainment shows. Anyway, that's not the problem. The problem is she rejects his advances. Then 2 years later, at that Miss Universe contest, she's 5 months pregnant, and he tries to fire her. NBC won't let him fire her. Now, we don't know if he tried to fire her because she wouldn't sleep with him earlier, or because she was 5 months pregnant. Either way, Not a good story. I mean, imagine you're a woman and, this is your career, but you got pregnant, and he's like, I don't like the way you look. I don't want to, I don't find you attractive anymore. You're fired. Or, you wouldn't sleep with me. See, that's the thing I find most pathetic. You wouldn't sleep with me, so I'm going to fire you. By the way, who else does that? A case after case after case. Roger Ailes. That's why he got kicked out of Fox News. And what's Roger Ailes doing now? Advising Donald Trump. See, this is how they roll. This is what they do. They thought we can do anything we want to women. We're stars. We can just grab them. We can just kiss them. Erin Burnett said a friend of hers had the same exact interaction with Trump, and she said down to the Tic Tacs, just like on the bus when he said, I put some Tic Tacs in my mouth just in case I decided I'm going to kiss them without asking. She said a friend of hers, boom, all of a sudden Trump tried to kiss her out of nowhere without asking, and he had some Tic Tacs in his mouth, and earlier he had offered her Tic Tacs. Well, Tic Tacs, tick tock. How much longer can this go? This is much worse than I realized. So like Cosby, like Ailes, it looks like there's going to be one allegation after another because this guy did this for a long, long time. What he was talking to Billy Bush about apparently was not a joke. That was his M.O. That's what he did. So, by the way, a guy who does all that stuff without asking, a bit of a loser, right? Like, there's a right way to approach women, and the wrong way is just immediately go for sexual assault. Jesus Christ, man. Just when you thought this guy couldn't get any worse, here he is. And yeah, all the stories I've told you about the bankruptcies, etc., and people might not care. The bigoted stuff, people might not care. But women are going to care about this story. Americans care about sex stories. So Trump's in a world of trouble.